Woo! All I have to say after seeing this movie is, boy, the man in blue with the red cape has some serious competition this year. What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and here's my review of Star Trek Into Darkness. Now, in terms of plot, which I'm sure all of you already know, it takes place about 6 months after the events of the first movie, in which Captain Kirk, played once again by Chris Pine, has really been going on a number of serious missions. But after one particular mission involving an erupting volcano and a very unsophisticated species, gets him demoted and has the Enterprise taken from him. Now, jump to London, in which we then have the introduction of John Harrison, played brilliantly by Benedict Cumberbatch, plans some sort of terrorist attack in a Starfleet institution location. However, this turns out to be somewhat of a decoy, and then once he plans a direct attack on the heads of Starfleet, Captain Kirk asks for permission to go after him, and he takes him, Zachary Quinto's Spock, he takes the rest of his crew, the Enterprise. They decide to go after him into the unknown to try to capture him and bring him back. Now, just from the trailers, that's all you really need to know. Now, I have to tell you guys this right now. I absolutely love this film. I was hardly bored of it. Number one, the acting across the board is very, very well done. Probably, I would even say, better than it was in the first movie. One of the biggest highlights of this particular level of dialogue between the characters is to see Kirk and Spock kind of have the little conversations of matching Kirk's kind of gut instinct as you know, I'm doing this because, you know, this is what I do as a friend. I'm not looking at you as like a Starfleet officer. I'm looking at you as someone I care about. And then Zachary Quinto's Spock kind of saying, but, you know, we have to follow the rules. This is how it's always done, regardless of the consequences. And it's really good to see a balance between those two characters. Now, I will say that out of all the characters and the actors in this film, Benedict Cumberbatch unquestionably steals the show in nearly every scene he's in. He makes for an absolutely great Sherlock on BBC's Sherlock. And he makes an even better villain in this film. And I can't wait to see what new projects he has coming out later this year. If I remember correctly, he's going to be the voice of Smaug in the second part of the Hobbit film. But that doesn't detract from the rest of the cast, because they all do play their parts very well. And there's even a little bit of a side story with Sean Penn's Scotty. So it's not like we're focusing on only these three characters. The rest of the cast does have their moment to shine. And there are a lot of throwbacks to some of the older films. Again, this movie is also very beautifully shot. There are tons of really great shots. I know it's, you know, J.J. Abrams kind of been known to use a lot of lens flares, but in this particular movie, it didn't really bother me at all. And in some scenes, it looks like he may be throwing a little hint of what we can expect from Star Wars, or what he plans to do with Star Wars, because there are many scenes throughout this film which I couldn't help but feel like the tone would belong better in another film, or say a future Star Wars film. So, you know, maybe that might be a little hint of things to come. Now, I absolutely love this film, as I said before, but I do acknowledge that not all fans are going to enjoy this film. I think the biggest problem that I think some people may have with this particular movie is that it takes a lot of elements from older films and, quote, kind of shoehorns them in. And in my opinion, I think that what J.J. Abrams was doing is he's using the element which was put in the first film of the time alteration, going back in time and then changing specific events. So for this particular movie, you will actually see somewhat of a what-if scenario if it had been played this way in the original films. And there are a number of throwbacks, including a really short but really well done cameo by a certain, let's say, legendary Star Trek actor, which I won't mention in this film. As you can tell, absolutely love this film. Everything about it works. The pacing was fine, the visuals were fine, the acting was superb, the battle scenes worked just fine, and there was plenty of suspense. Even when I could suspect that certain twists were coming, I was still on the edge of my seat from beginning to end, which is why I am more than happy to give Star Trek Into Darkness, I believe, my first A+ of the year. I will say this, there's only one more movie coming out in 1 month which has the potential and possibility of beating this film, and it's going to have to do a lot of things even better to take the place of Movie of the Year for me. Now, if you excuse me, I need to head back to the theaters because I'm going to see this again, this time in 3D. And if you like this movie review, please like, comment down below, and please subscribe to track for my future movie and video game reviews. And like always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.